Hi, I'm John Grimmett, and I'm a composer, writer, and director. I'm a proud alumnus of the University of Houston's Moores School of Music, where I graduated in 2011 with a Bachelor's of Music degree with an emphasis in instrumental music education. My parents are both alumni of the university, and having had careers as public school teachers, there was really only one place for me to go to college when I told them I wanted to become a band director my senior year in high school. My mom was thrilled about the University of Houston because she studied violin with Friedel Lack and played in the orchestra under Clyde Roller many years ago, so for me to study music was coming full circle. While I was active in the Honors College and a few other organizations on campus, the Moores School of Music is where I called home. I was a trombonist in Brian Kalk's studio, and I played in every major ensemble the school offered instrumentalists. The wind ensemble, the jazz band, the symphony and opera orchestras, but most notably, I was the drum major of the Spirit of Houston Marching Band for the 2008 and 2009 football seasons. One of the reasons I chose the University of Houston and the Moores School of Music to pursue my undergraduate education was because of the generous financial support I received both from the University of Houston and the Moores School of Music. Because of this support, I was able to take classes in composition, poetry, literature, and theater, and I think that definitely has had a major impact on who I am today as an artist. My most formative moments at the University of Houston came from my studies with Andrew Davis, David Bertman, Howard Pollack, and David Ashley White. They nurtured my interest in theater and writing dramatic music. I even received a Provost Research Scholarship to assist Dr. Davis and Dr. Pollack with their books on Puccini and Blitzstein, respectively. But it was Carrie Young, my academic advisor at the time, who guided me to apply for a playwriting course with Edward Albee, which was a life-changing moment. Edward liked me because he saw writers and composers as synonymous, and I've since discovered he was right. Edward became my mentor and my friend, and I've never quite seen the world in the same way. After graduating from the Moores School of Music, I attended the Graduate Musical Theater Writing Program at New York University, which is the only place in the world to receive a graduate degree in musical theater writing. Originally, I was admitted as a lyricist, but halfway through the summer, before I started my studies in the fall, they called me and said, "John, would you like to be a composer?" And I said, "Sure." I've always admired people like Stephen Sondheim and Carlisle Floyd, who both create their own music and words, and I decided early on that that's what I wanted to do too. My first big break into professional theater was when Jake Heggie recommended me as a librettist for an opera composer named Liam Wade, who was chosen to participate in the inaugural American Opera Initiative at Washington National Opera. I had become friends with Jake during my time as a student at the Moores School of Music when Houston Grand Opera did a production of Dead Man Walking with Frederica von Stade and Joyce DiDonato, and we've been friends ever since. Jake is a champion of young writers and composers, and to top it off, he's an unbelievably nice guy. Like Edward, Jake has changed my life for the better, and that all started at the University of Houston. I've made a lot of new things with over a dozen composers and writers in the last 7 years. 4 operas, 3 song cycles, dozens of art songs, 3 orchestral pieces, 2 full-length musicals, 3 plays, 2 chapbooks of poetry, and a viola sonata. My music has been performed by musicians from Chanticleer, the Houseman Quartet, Fort Worth Opera, Washington National Opera, and the San Francisco Opera Orchestra, to name a few. The most miraculous thing is that everything I've ever written has been performed, which is not always the case with people pursuing careers in the theater. And this upcoming season is the busiest yet. I just celebrated the premiere of a song cycle based on the life of Ada Lovelace, the world's first computer programmer, with composer Kenneth Froelich. Ken and I are writing an opera called The State of Jefferson, which will have its premiere at Fresno State in fall 2017. In December, the Red Door Theater Company in Pasadena, Texas, will premiere my play 23 Decembers, which is subtitled A Screenplay for Live Actors. The play is an experimental work, and most of the cast members are under the age of 15. It's really exciting to involve young people in the creation and the type of collaboration needed to make new work happen. I'm also writing a children's opera called Henry the Steinway, which is based on the children's books of the same name. We recently had a preview concert in September at the Steinway Selection Center in downtown Houston that featured more School of Music students. We're currently looking for funding to help commission the piece, so hopefully Henry will come alive very soon. I have a premiere of a new song cycle with composer Clint Borzoni for Musica Marin and the Merola Opera Program in February 2017. I'll also be writing an art song with a text by Jason Carlson for soprano and orchestra for the Fort Bend Symphony Orchestra. This project was shepherded by conductor Dominique Royam and soprano Brittany Lovett, both Moore School of Music graduates, for their Texas Composer Concert Series in February 2017. Throughout the school year, I teach theater arts in Pearland ISD in Pearland, Texas. Though I still have a place in New York, I decided a few years ago that artists like myself need to get into the classroom and begin breeding this sort of excitement about arts education in America. And so that's what I did. Last year, my students and I did a production of George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion for our district UIL one-act play competition, and we ended up taking home top honors. And just a few weeks ago, we did a production of Eugene Ionesco's Rhinoceros, which, when you do that play with a bunch of junior high school students, that is really the definition of theater of the absurd. But we have a lot of fun. And I always say, I'll do things until I stop having fun, and then I'll do something else. It's a good motto to live by.